Once a month, Paula Pant, host of the Afford Anything podcast, answers voicemail questions the listeners send in. Here's one now.
Hi, Paula. Hope you're doing well. Just wanted to tell you that I love your podcast and you're doing a great job. I have two questions, both involving investing in real estate with partners. The first is, can you outline the basic steps for forming an LLC, especially if the LLC involves multiple partners who are not all equal investors? The second is, can you outline the steps for creating a joint bank account for the LLC? Firstly, if it's even needed at all, and if so, what is the process there? And if there's any need to reference a joint account in the LLC documentation. Thanks for listening. Thanks for providing such great content, and keep up the great work.
Eric, as to the first part of your question, how do you form an LLC? First of all, I have to be careful when I answer questions like this because I am not a lawyer and this should not be construed as legal advice. I want to be very clear about that. This is for informational purposes only. Please consult with a lawyer and do not interpret any of this to be in any way legal or professional advice. Now, when you form this LLC, the actual formation is fairly straightforward. You're going to file articles of organization, which is sometimes also referred to as a certificate of organization. That's just the document that you file with the state that says that you guys are an LLC, that you exist. You're going to pay a fee to the state, of course, because nothing exists without doing that. You're going to choose a registered agent, which is officially the person who gets the mail, particularly when it comes to, if a summons is served or something like that. Yeah, the registered agent gets the official mail. Then you're also going to create an LLC operating agreement. And this operating agreement, especially because you have partners coming on board, this is where you want to be incredibly thoughtful. So the operating agreement is just going to outline the agreement between you and your partners. It's going to outline everyone's particular percentage interest in the business. It's going to outline each individual's rights and responsibilities. It's going to outline each individual's voting power. It'll talk about how the profits and losses will be shared, the rules for changing rules, the rules for holding meetings, the rules for voting. It's going to outline everything. What happens if one person wants to sell out of their interest? What happens if one person gets divorced and their spouse gets a portion of the LLC within the divorce? Does that spouse get voting rights? What happens if one of the partners becomes so addicted to substances that they are no longer capable of good decision making? Will there be a way in which other members can intervene and take away, at the very least, that particular member's voting rights, if not force them into a buyout as a whole? That is all of the stuff that your operating agreement is going to cover. So when you form that operating agreement, I'd recommend that you get an attorney who can really walk you through this, because this is the analogy that I would use is, this is the quote unquote lease that you want to have clear up front, because it's much better to hammer out these issues in the beginning when everybody is still friends than it is to try to hammer out these issues 5 years down the road when somebody is incapacitated and somebody else has just declared bankruptcy and somebody else is going through a very difficult divorce. That is when there's more potential for infighting and where the he said, she said kind of starts popping up. So that's why you want to have a rock solid operating agreement. But as to your original question, the process for forming an LLC, that's actually incredibly straightforward. The attorney who helps you form an operating agreement will file the paperwork for you, but it's not a complicated process. As far as opening a bank account, the bank account is not going to be held in the names of any given individuals. The bank account will be held in the LLC's name. So you're going to open a business bank account as an LLC, and then one or more particular individuals will have access to that bank account. And you're going to have to decide who has the right to sign a check. Are you going to require that two people sign a check before that check can be valid? Or is there one person who has sole check signing authority? That's stuff that you and all of your partners are going to have to hammer out. The bank would, sign y'all up however you tell them that you want to be signed up, but you guys are going to have to hammer out those issues ahead of time.
Hey, did you enjoy this excerpt from the Afford Anything podcast? Then click to download our free ebook, Escape. You'll be taken to a page where you can enter your email for immediate access to everything you need to know about escaping the 9-to-5 grind to live life on your terms. And you can also subscribe with one simple click to get alerted when new videos are uploaded.